Holy cow. Hey you guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers. Welcome to another episode. As you know, recently I picked this engine up. It's a Kohler Courage engine. I've dealt with a lot of Kohler Courages, and the reason why I have to always deal with them is because every Kohler Courage I've had has been either busted, blown, has problems with it, and I'd have to take it apart, whatever. Anyway, I got this for free!
For free!
From my friend Nick over in Bellport. I went to go pick it up. He got it off of a Cub Cadet tractor, which he took it off because there was a tremendous knock. The engine runs. It just has a bad knock. At least that's what it's supposed to sound like. I also have a lawnmower with a bad engine that has a huge knock on it too. And the reason why it started knocking was because there was low oil in it and then the engine seized. Well, after I unseized it, that's when the knock happened. I think the reason for knocks is that the sudden stop of the piston in the bore due to the lack of oil causes the momentum of the crankshaft and the end bearing of the connecting rod to kind of push in the aluminum just a smidgen, so minuscule that you couldn't tell with the naked eye. But if you felt it, if you took this apart and you move the connecting rod and the crankshaft, see if there's any play whatsoever, even a slight one. And since it knocks so much, you should feel a slight play between the connecting rod and the crankshaft bearing journal connection, that area right there. I could be lucky and it could just be a loose screw or something like that, or something's just dented and bent a little, you know, so small that it's not enough to stop the engine from running. Still has compression, but enough to cause the knock at high RPMs. So what I'm gonna do is, I don't have a starter for this because Nick kept it, right? Which is understandable. If he's getting rid of an engine, he's gonna keep the starter for some other future application. But what we're gonna do is, he tried to take this apart, but he couldn't get the top lid off because I think he missed a bolt or something like that. But we're gonna take the top off. The Kohler Courage is one of the engines, very few engines in the world, that have a sump cover that's on the top, which is kind of convenient if you want to work on it. You don't have to take it off the lawn tractor, you know, just take the cap off. So we'll go check it out. We'll play with the connecting rod and the crankshaft and see where the play is. It could also be the synchro balancer on it too. So we'll find that out today because I'm curious as hell. And I think I might have another connecting rod for this from another engine that I kept. I'm pretty sure I don't have a synchro balancer or a crankshaft for this, but I'm not sure. I might. So if I do have the parts, we'll put this back together again. I'll get a starter from somewhere. If any of you guys have a Kohler Courage starter you're not using, contribute to the channel. Send it to the channel. I appreciate it. One of a very few warm days left in the fall, so Boba's out here enjoying the weather. Then and me grabbing a whole bunch of sockets and stuff. I just got this in the mail recently. It's a impact driver socket set. Has SAE sizes and millimeters, which is great because I can just whip this out. I have every socket I need for any of these, except for super small ones. I think it does have super small ones, but the smallest one I got over here is 8 millimeter. That's pretty small. But sometimes you need 6 or 7 millimeters, you know. The main one is the 10 millimeter one, and we'll just grab that. And I believe these are the bolts for it. The sump bolts are the 10 millimeter ones. Getting the stator off of here. You can never get it through here unless you took out the wiring pins to this. Just let it hang. I have lots of these. After studying this a little bit, even if I got all the bolts off, take it off, I think this throttle bracket's still gonna be an issue. We'll see when we get there. That's it. Shouldn't have any oil in it. Get a mallet. Ah, one hiding right there. There we go, that's the sump cover. Compression release is good, and look, there's a lot of shavings here, a lot. Well, we got no choice, got to take this apart and see what are the shavings from. Well, first of all, I can feel the cams, the plastic cams, the teeth, they're all grinded out. Gonna have to rotate this so it takes pressure off of the cams. Getting you guys a little closer so you can see. One. I actually have another set of plastic cams. You guys see that? This cam is done. And the cam bearing has some sharp shards on the edges here. So there's been some trauma to this for sure. Also a bad impact here. That's what it looks like. So this cam is no good for sure. And it could be a culprit. Let's rotate this one. Don't forget, there's always a shim on the right side one, the one with the compression release is always on this one. There's none on the other one. Found that out the hard way too. This is good. This cam is in good shape. There's no damage to this. And this cam is sharp. You know, the edges are really sharp, meaning it's in pretty good shape, but the bearing itself, not exactly smoothest in the world. And also there's some rub marks over here on the bottom, but the teeth are good though. Oh, I can see something right here. Okay, we got some trauma there. Right at the edge of the bore, there's a chip that's missing. And I've got a piece over here. Holy cow. Look at that. This is one of the links that holds the synchro balancer. That's a problem. So here's the reason for the knock. Check it out. Let me get you closer. Here is the reason for the knock. See that play right there? Take a close look at the other screw or bolt that holds the end of the connecting rod. It's a quarter way out, so it's loose. See that play? That causes the knock. So I want to show you guys what I need. So this thing down here, that's the bottom link that attaches the synchro balancer weight to the crankshaft. This one is missing because look, there's supposed to be two bolts here that hold the link that attaches to the crankshaft right there. That piece is right here. This was one of it. This is supposed to go like that, and it's busted. So I think that even though you have this part here that's damaged, right? The piston doesn't go low enough to really matter. I mean, it does matter, of course, but and I think basically the part of a piston also is messed up over here. But this is actually still usable because the bore itself is really unaffected with the piston connection to the bore. I mean, a little bit, but it's not going to make much difference in terms of compression. So technically you could still use this connecting rod, the block, I believe. So all we need is to tighten the bolt on the end of the connecting rod if the connecting rod isn't bent or damaged, which I don't know unless I took it apart, right? But I think the main thing is we need a link to connect this synchro balancer to the crankshaft. I don't know if I have a link because I don't even really remember if I kept the balancer stuff to it. I should have. I'm gonna go in the backyard in my shed and look around and see if I can find at least the links. As you can see on the bottom there, due to this moving around a lot, those bolts on the bottom have to be tightened too. So I think either way, I have to remove the this crankshaft. So I'm going to loosen the bolts on that one, remove the piston and connecting rod, as well as the entire crankshaft and synchro balancer assembly. Then we can inspect the bottom of the block. I have a feeling it still might be damaged. If you look all the way down there, see that? I see trauma there. So this engine block may be bad after all. Okay, my dissection is complete. As you can see here, even the other synchro balancer counterweight link is also damaged. I tightened the bolts a little bit here, but this was completely loose, understandably so. The other one, which is bolted onto these two holes, looks like that. It's completely disintegrated. As you can see, both cams are damaged. I do have new cams, or used cams, but they're good. This is the end to the conrod. The journal's a little damaged, but you could always smooth that out with muric acid or water and oil and sandpaper and smooth it out. It could probably be used again. The only other thing that I see is a little bit of damage there, but I don't think that's enough to really affect the way it runs. The journal could be smoothed out here. Yeah, I feel some ridges here. Pretty well scored. That connecting rod's probably not usable. Fortunately, I think I might have another connecting rod attached to a piston. Other than that, everything else is okay. The condition of the block is still good. Other than that, there's a detailed look at the innards. I'd have to get rid of that oil because there's a lot of shavings down there, you can see. But would I even try to fix this? That journal's smooth and the bore is smooth. So I'll probably try to take that connecting rod and piston out because this is pretty bad. And this is where it connects to the crankshaft bearing. So that has to be smooth. And it'd be tough to fix that because it's pretty deep. The gouges are pretty deep. Well, it's all moot because I'm not going to go and spend money on a new crankshaft. Actually, this crankshaft, this could be fixed, but I might have another crankshaft. I'm not sure if I have one of these. I'd have to go look. So unless I'd have to go and get one of these for sure with the links. Not so much the weight, because the weight is okay. You just need the 2 links, right? People don't sell these separately. Maybe if I look on eBay, I might. And if it was a decent price, I might get them. Connecting rod I might have, like I said. And that's all we need, right? A connecting rod, and these links. And I have the cams. Of course, I need a starter too. We'll see. I'll go in the back and see if I have parts. So I went to my backyard of parts and I recalled that I do have a connecting rod and piston. This top ring looks like it's compressed inside, so I'll probably take that piston out because I know it has good compression, right? And it still ran. So I take that piston out, connect it to this connecting rod, which has a good bearing on the end plate and the con rod itself. So that's one issue that's fixed. Second issue that's fixed is I have 2 good cams, right, with good teeth. I don't have I don't have the crankshaft or the links. If I could just find the links on eBay for cheap, I might get them because that synchro balancer is still good, and I could smooth out the crank bearing journal. I've done it before. I mean, ideally, I'd like to have a crankshaft with the synchro balancer attached to it, one piece. That's expensive. On eBay, it's like 80 bucks or something. If any of you guys watching this video want to contribute to the channel and watch your parts go to work on a next video of repairing this engine, send it to me. Go check out my About Me and my YouTube profile. You'll find my email address. It's easy. mowersblowers@aol.com. Let me know if you have it and if you're willing to send it to me as a contribution to the channel. I really appreciate it, and I'll give you a shout out for business, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I'll go look and see how much it's going to cost, or if I hear from one of you guys on the parts, I'll rebuild this engine in a future episode. You know, you could always use an engine, but obviously you can go and find tractors for like $100 with a blown engine, and usually that engine has Kohler Courage in it, and maybe one of those, it has a good synchro balancer and links and a crankshaft. Usually it's just a connecting rod that's busted, you know. So I could use that and rebuild the engine for a future application. I'm not going to throw this stuff away because I think this is rebuildable. It'll take some money, which you guys know I don't like to spend any money because this channel is all about getting stuff for free. That's right, free. And then getting things going without spending any money. See how resourceful the human being can be. Oh, hey, how you doing? Some nut wants to see this. It's a Toro CCR 3650. One of the pretty popular ones from back in the 90s. I got it for free, that's right, free, from my friend Mike, the kid who mows veterans' lawns for free. Anyway, he gave it to me, he didn't want it anymore. The believe that it runs just fine. A little bit of gas in it, that's all we need. A little bit of primage. Just want to make sure that it works. Choke. On. One. Two. Three. Yeah, am I gonna have to do this a lot? So I met the guy. He just moved here from Queens, which is where I moved from. Filipino guy, so Asian brother, sorta. Anyway, it was funny because he was asking me. He goes, "Hey Henry, so you mind if I ask you how long have you lived here in Long Island from Queens?" And I says, "Oh, I've been here like 21 years." "Oh, good. Let me ask you, as an Asian, have you ever encountered any racism here?" And I says, "You would think that there would be racist incidents, right? But honestly, I haven't been." So he's like, "Well, I'm so relieved. I thought that, we were gonna get like ostracized or something." And I said, "No, it's been cool." Anyway, those are valid questions, and then now that I'm talking about it, I'm pretty surprised. Because I tell you what, I probably faced more racism when I was a kid growing up in Queens than, Long Island, which I've never encountered. Anyway, dude was cool. He asked me the same questions that some people would on two-stroke snowblower engines. Like, why does it smoke so much? Well, I kind of mixed it, through the eyeballing it. But I always tend to put more oil than gas in there because I always think about not having enough oil in it. So it smoked a little bit more than usual. I told him to just run it empty and dry. I only put a little bit just to show him how it works. So when you just put a little bit, you tend to put more oil than gas, just to mix it real quick for him for me to start it up. So anyway, I said, "Oh, just run it out of gas completely, and just go buy that pre-mix 50-to-1 True Fuel. That way you're mixing it correctly and there's no ethanol in it and it won't come up, blah, blah, blah. And you'll be fine." Anyway, so he gave me $150 for it. Sweet. Let's take out the piston and conrod. And, now we know you're going to have to take the head off to get the new piston back in there. Fortunately though, the bore is very smooth. That's why it was still running, because it has good compression. So this is a good piston. There's no scoring on the piston or the bore. So it's a good bore, good piston. This con rod here is no good because this is some deep gouges. Very deep. It's got some damage over here too. You could still probably use that because it doesn't diminish the structure of it. You know, it just looks bad cosmetically. And some scrapes here, but yeah, this is really gouged and bent in like that. So this connecting rod unfortunately can't be used. Like I said, I have another connecting rod, so I'll just replace this piston onto this connecting rod. Should I do that now? So I swapped it out. I took the good piston from in there because I know it has compression, it was running, and I took my good connecting rod and I connected them both, swapped it out, swapped out the piston. This is the piston that I had with my good connecting rod. As you can see, it's very scored over here, and also the center ring is compressed in here, it won't come out. See, it won't pop out, so it's stuck in there. So this is a bad piston. And this is the original connecting rod from here with the scored stuff here. As you can see, it's kind of warped over here too. So, I mean, I'll still keep it in case of emergencies, whatever. But when I was looking at my camshafts, this is the original one, the bad one that's damaged. This is my good one. Look at the size difference of the cam. This is like twice the depth. I fortunately have another set like that, which I'm gonna go get. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.
Next time on Mowers and Blowers.
Mowers and Blowers.